And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Russinize Your Day Show on the WHRL network. You can check us out, whirlwindmedia.com. There's no I in world. There's no I in team.
There you go.
I'm Russ, your host.
And I'm Brent.
He's also the host.
Oh, I was going to... Okay.
I just thought I'd clarify. They're probably like, who's Brent?
I'm glad I got a little bit of a promotion right there.
From what?
From
a host to host?
Yeah.
I don't think you know how a promotion works.
Oh. Well, my boss always says I get promoted. But nothing ever changes.
Don't need to go into that at all. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia was honored this weekend at his funeral. And I tuned in for a little bit on... when I saw it on TV. And it's actually his son who is talking, who's actually a Catholic priest. And he was actually quite humorous as he shared memories of his father.
That's a bit morbid for a funeral.
What?
To be funny?
You tell stories.
Oh, okay. This one time, he asked me to pull his finger, and he peed.
He did.
See,
that's a little bit morbid right there. That's a little bit twisted. But somebody was, as we talked about, surprisingly absent from the funeral. And it was nobody of real major importance.
Was it a real surprise, though?
No. Well, he was so busy with work.
Yes, he was.
He had work to do. The White House, get this, the White House even tweeted out a photo. This is President Obama was absent. We talked about it on the show before, so we all expect you to keep up. But they tweeted out a photo of Obama walking at the White House. His face was very sad, and he had a giant, a comically oversized binder under his arm. Like he's working, this is his binder full of women that he uses to pick the Supreme Court nominee.
Really, it's just a binder full of all the newspaper articles that he's been mentioned in.
It's actually a binder of Hillary's 66 secret yoga positions. So that's one we don't mind if, that just remains classified.
I puked in my mouth a little bit.
It's America's Book of Secrets. There's that History Channel show called the Book of Secrets, and that's what it is. It's just those are Hillary's 66 classified yoga positions that she kept on her server in a bathroom in Colorado.
Yeah, I think President Obama is trying to catch up with the nation of India in the fact of creating the American Kama Sutra. So that's it's a pretty big book for.
But when they showed the picture, I looked at it because it's like, this is ridiculous. He skips out on Scalia's funeral, and he's walking outside the White House with this giant notebook, this giant binder. And I'm like, but don't worry, the next day he had plenty of time to go golfing.
Well, that's because he got all his work done.
He got that
during the funeral.
Yeah. That's if he went to the funeral, he wouldn't have been able to go golfing. Yeah, and we know how important golfing is to this president.
Well, when he first got in office, he had a 7 handicap. Now he's down to a 3 handicap. So
I think it's called handicapable. Is the appropriate PC term.
I'm sorry, handicapped.
But we also have breaking news from the Cruz campaign.
Breaking.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you watch the show on YouTube, boy, you were in for a treat there. Whew.
All right, calm down. I know I got you all riled up.
Oh, heavens to Betsy. But Cruz has fired his top staffer, Rick Tyler.
What?
He's recently asked for his resignation. Rick Tyler is apparently, from what I can understand about him, Ted Cruz has been under attack a lot lately for sleazy politicking.
Yep. Yes, he has.
The stuff Rubio's hitting him for is stuff Rubio's doing himself, so it doesn't, and Trump has no ground to stand on accusing anybody of doing anything sleazy. So it's kind of a little nonsensical, but they're hammering Cruz hard because, as I pointed out to somebody, we got an email from a listener. I didn't bother queuing you in on it.
Thanks.
But they had asked about, all this stuff about Cruz. And, it's just, what's the best way they could undermine Cruz? People trust him. His motto is trust Ted,
Yes, it is.
So the question becomes, what's the best way you could kind of erode his support? Attack his character, his honorable character.
And really, that's all they have to try to attack.
And that's the best thing the liberals can do. If anything good for them comes out of this primary process, the best victory they can get is to have all the conservatives turn against Ted Cruz.
Yep, that's a win for them.
Because he's well trusted. He was a symbol of conservatism, and now he's this low-life dirtbag. They're really accomplishing a lot this time around. The left is in the Republican primary.
Well, I mean, it's funny, though, because the conservatives and the Republicans actually let it happen, and they don't really blink an eye. Instead of actually going out and saying, no, we did our homework, it's not true. They go, oh, yeah.
The mouth breathers?
Yeah, the mouth breathers. They listen to the liar that lies.
Yeah.
The lying liar that lies.
Yeah.
So, whether it's Rubio or Trump.
And but the most recent one from Cruz, this one was a bit of a stretch, and so I think it's very honorable for Ted to be firing this guy.
Okay.
I think it was the right move. But they recently tweeted out there was a video. It was a bit of an awkward exchange between in a hotel lobby. Marco Rubio was walking by Rafael Cruz in a Ted Cruz staffer.
Isn't Rafael his dad?
Yeah, Rafael is his father. Ted Cruz's father. And Marco Rubio was walking past them, and the staffer was reading from the Bible. Mm. And in the audio, Rubio had asked, what you're reading there? It's the Bible. And the audio gets a little tricky, but it's something along the lines of, that's got all the answers in it. It's a good book, got all the answers. Well, Rick Tyler apparently tweeted out that he said, not any answers in there.
Oh.
That Marco Rubio basically denied his Christianity. So now Cruz has asked for Tyler's resignation.
Wow. I mean, really, right there, that should speak highly of Cruz's integrity.
Yeah, and what I find interesting, though, is Rick Tyler's name appears a lot behind the scenes of these controversies that have come up. And I wonder if, look, bad people can get into good positions.
Exactly.
You think you can trust somebody, and it turns out you can't. That happens. That's a legitimate thing. And I think Cruz made the right decision here.
I think so too, because if a candidate has an idea of the way that he wants his campaign ran, and it's not being run his way, he needs to find the problem and he needs to get rid of it and put somebody in the position that will go along with his point of views, with the way that he wants to run it, instead of running it like a circus.
Yeah, and Rick Tyler, it should be noted that he wasn't just a top level staffer. He was the national spokesman of Ted Cruz.
Wow.
And that's a spot with a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, a lot of responsibility, and frankly, Rick Tyler can do a lot of damage too to the campaign, whether he knows it or not. And apparently he didn't. Or he did, and he was just like, oh, Ted doesn't know what he's talking about. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though, with a spokesman. They're there to speak for you. Yeah. When you're not there to speak. So you got to make sure you have somebody good. The South Carolina primary was on Saturday. And it was actually, there was the South Carolina primary for the Republicans, and then the Democrats had the Nevada caucus. And next, Republicans will be going to Nevada. I don't know where Democrats are going.
South Carolina.
They're just switching.
Yep.
In the South Carolina primary, Donald Trump won.
Oh, excuse me.
He won with 32.5%. He won by 10 points against the next person, which was Rubio, who pulled second with 22.5. And then Cruz came in a surprising third. But with these numbers, I do have to kind of push that Rubio and Cruz basically tied. Yeah. Cruz had 22.3, so he was 0.2% below Rubio. That's basically, I mean, that's a tough one to say that anybody had a clear second, third place finish. Bush, 7.8, Kasich, 7.6, and Carson came in last, which was really surprising, with 7.2.
Is it because somebody said that he was quitting the campaign?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope. Nobody said that. However, there are plenty of reports out now. I've seen so many reports come out about Carson potentially dropping out after Nevada. And I almost was tweeting all these people going, guys, stop. He gets mad when you say these things.
Yeah, don't do it.
He doesn't like that. Don't say those things. But Bush.
Good old Bush.
Jeb is no longer in the race. Let's have a moment of silence for Jeb. Now he actually
good moment.
We got a show to do. So.
Yeah.
This is all part of Jeb's master plan, though.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you'll remember that earlier when he first launched his campaign. Even maybe it was before that, but he said a candidate has to be prepared to lose the primary in order to win the general election.
Wow,
you remember when he said that?
I don't.
He did.
Well, okay. Well, he lost.
This is part of his plan.
Oh, so he's going to just jump right in at the
He's got it locked up. You have to be prepared to lose the primary because of all those, dare I say it, but all those Christian conservatives.
You know, people that would vote for him, possibly.
Yeah, but you have to be prepared to
lose them to win.
To win the general. You lose the primary to win the general. So this is just phase one is now done for Jeb.
All right.
He ran a horrible campaign, and most people felt sorry for him by the end of it. But now he will come flying back to win the general.
There we go. You know, it's funny because you say a lot of people felt bad for him. I actually started liking him because up there with Trump up there, he sounded brilliant.
That's the thing, too. Trump actually made Jeb seem like a reasonable, viable candidate. Like, I can see what Jeb's talking about.
Too bad Trump wasn't running back in 2000. George Bush would have looked like a genius.
Well, that would have been more 2004.
Well,
okay. Kind of the second time around.
Yeah, I guess 2004. That's true. But still.
I see what you're saying, though.
You get Donald Trump and George Bush up there. Everybody would have been like, wow, George is actually pretty smart.
And he's a brilliant guy.
Yeah.
They might have even said Al Gore was smart, too. I mean, that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it is.
That is a bit of a stretch, but they might have actually come around on Al then.
Yeah. But he wasn't. He's running now, and he's being Trump.
Yep. So remaining in the race are, as we stated, Trump, Cruz, Rubio, Kasich, and Carson as they head into Nevada.
Which I think after Nevada, Kasich and Carson will probably drop.
Yeah. Do you remember when there were like 100 candidates in the race?
Yes.
Seems like so long ago.
I know. It seems like forever. But the nice thing is when they actually do a debate, there's only, 5 up on stage now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5.
Which they did. They have already done far too many debates. It's time to just stop. Stop with the debates, please.
I think the debates are nice because it informs us, the voter, of what they're thinking. Like, we wouldn't know that Donald Trump is for a one-payer healthcare system if we didn't have a debate.
You know the problem with that?
Yeah.
Trump won South Carolina.
Yeah.
And New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not working. People are, even if they're hearing it, they're saying, well, we're angry enough that we just want somebody on our side who will do the same thing to the other side that they did to us. It's all about revenge.
You know what's really funny?
I don't. Please make me laugh.
I hope this will. But actually, this is going to infuriate you because it did me.
Thanks.
I heard a caller today on a show, and he was a Trump supporter. Okay.
Our show?
Our show? Yes.
We don't have callers.
But he called in, Trump supporter. He was talking to the host of the show. He goes, "You know what I like about Trump?"
What's that?
What? He's paying for everything. He's doing his whole campaign. He doesn't have one single PAC backing him. And the host of the show goes, "So the only reason you like Donald Trump is because he's paying for everything and he doesn't have a PAC." He goes, "Yep." He goes, "You don't care about his morals or where he stands. The reason," and the guy said yes to this, "the reason you're going to vote for him is because he isn't taking any money from the PAC." He's like, "Yep." He's like, "All right, thanks for the call."
And let's just, he might not have any PACs, but he's taken $30 million in donations.
Yeah. Yes, he has.
That's, I don't know definition-wise, but I'm fairly certain that is not self-funding.
No, that's not.
I'm not an expert on this. I could be wrong. I saw somebody today, definitions aren't my strong point. I saw somebody today post a definition of liberal.
Okay.
And at the bottom it said, in parentheses, Webster's Dictionary. I looked it up in Webster's Dictionary, and it was not the definition they listed. So clearly I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not an expert on definitions.
I hope you posted the correct definition.
No, there's times you have to choose your battles. Pick your battles, and I chose not to go there.
Oh. Yeah, I do that every day.
Because this definition they posted made liberal sound like, that's the best, nicest thing in the world.
Oh yeah,
the most generous people in the world are liberals.
Well, I mean, to be fair, they are the most generous, but with other people's money and possessions and land and everything else.
Everything.
So,
current state of the race going into Nevada. There's a lot of support out there, not for Trump. Obviously, let's just take the first two finishers out behind Trump in South Carolina. Together, they would have handily, their numbers add together, would have handily trounced Trump.
Yes, by 10.
Yes, a little bit more.
12.
Yep. And then if you take Bush, Kasich, Carson, I highly doubt any of these numbers would go to Trump. I really do. I have a hard time believing that many of them would. I don't see that happening. They're voting for these candidates because they don't want to vote for Trump.
Right.
So this is a real detriment to the anti-Trump crowd. The fact that there's still Carson needs to drop out. I like Ben Carson. I think he's a good, honorable man. I'd love to see him president. He's not good. I don't see him getting there. He lost Iowa, which of course we know is Ted Cruz's fault, and then he lost South Carolina, which.
Well, what about New Hampshire? He won in New Hampshire, right?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, this just got weird.
Yeah. The thing. But New Hampshire, you could easily say, well, that's. You don't have a lot of evangelical support in New Hampshire. But South Carolina you do. And he placed last behind both Bush and Kasich.
The establishment boys.
Yes.
Well, that's...
So I don't see a viable path forward for Ben Carson because it's all about perception at this point.
Right. I think a lot of it does have to do with I was reading this in the news. Ben Carson said that he was going to stay in as long as he possibly could because he owed it to the people that signed the petition to get him.
I heard that too.
Yeah, the petition to have him run as president. So really, should he drop out? Most likely. But because of his beliefs and his standards and his character, he believes that he owes it to the people that.
And that's so rare to find. So, and if he chooses to stay in, good for him. The big problem comes down to Rubio and Cruz.
Yep.
They're destroying each other. Yeah. They're the reason neither of them can beat Trump. And if either Rubio or Cruz dropped out, Trump wouldn't stand a chance.
It's very true. It's very true.
I heard an interesting idea somebody floated today.
Oh, that's
about if they made a pact and then Cruz dropped out and Rubio made Cruz his Supreme Court nominee.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Yeah, the only problem I have with that is I'd like to see Cruz be president.
Right.
I mean...
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't see Rubio. I don't see any way of being able to talk Rubio into dropping out. What's ironic though is that they're hurting. Neither of them are going to win if they don't figure something out, because all they're doing right now is attacking each other, and it's hurting. Obviously, it's hurting them. Cruz placing third in South Carolina is pretty rough. Yeah. Even if it's by a smidgen, it's still pretty rough.
It is. What's even worse is Donald Trump took all the delegates,
all 50 delegates
from South Carolina. So that hurts everybody.
That hurts
no matter what place they took. But yeah, those two fighting and bickering. It's like, all right, haven't we had enough Latino on Latino violence? Let's move along.
Latino on Latino violence?
Yeah.
I'd like to see the stats on that.
No, I'm just saying. I think we've had enough.
Well, thank you, El Chapo. We'll now head over to Nevada. Nevada, where the Democrats were Hillary won.
By a thumb wrestle.
By 5 points. They thumb wrestled? Oh, I'm sorry.
They thumb wrestled.
Yes.
That's how she got the 5 points.
Oh, okay. They were tied, and then they thumb wrestled for it. And hey, it's Democrat Party rules, man.
Yeah.
That's how they do it.
Actually, I did read that Bernie Sanders broke a thumb.
Yeah,
so
he had.
They had to switch hands. So
he's not good with whatever hand he had to use second.
No, yeah, and it's really interesting. A lot of people might be thinking, well, that's unfair. It's a man versus a woman. A man is naturally stronger. Don't worry. Do not worry. He has been named an honorary woman. So it's all good. He really has.
Something you want to go out and proclaim to everybody.
He has.
It's interesting. He's an honorary woman.
Yes, he is.
Womankind everywhere is benefiting, I'm sure.
Yes. Not really.
Not even remotely. So Clinton took 19 delegates and Bernie took 15. That makes Clinton somewhere up in the 500 delegate range count, and Bernie's in like the who cares range,
mid to low teens.
Doesn't even have a chance.
No, yeah.
But this is much needed for Hillary to actually legitimately win one, because she hasn't legitimately won one up until then.
Right. Yeah, because New Hampshire was a tie. And, New Hampshire, Bernie took it.
He took it.
Yeah.
She still got more delegates than Iowa he did.
Yeah.
Iowa was the tie.
Yeah.
And she also got more delegates than he did.
Which is, I think, so I don't get how Bernie got 15 and she got 19. He came in second. He should get more. That's what happened in New Hampshire, right?
That's by the rules of the Democrat Party. Well, they believe in a redistributionist policy, so by the time they get to the convention, they're just going to spread it out, and everybody's going to have equal.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's perfect. You know what? They'll probably float a couple to Donald Trump if he's in the lead,
right?
Or if he's falling behind.
They'll probably float him a couple. Hey, Donald. Use some of our super delegates.
Yeah.
I think they're still good in your party's nominating process.
Don't worry about it. So you know what? Really, there are still 3 Democrats running.
That's true.
So
I'm still sad one of them isn't Martin O'Malley, but then you can have Donald going, I have the super delegates.
Yeah, I mean it's funny when Democrats are swooning over the fact that Donald Trump can win. They're like, yes, Donald can win. It's like, why are you cheering for the other? I played football in high school. If the other team was cheering because one of our players came out, frankly, if one of our worst players came out and everybody was cheering, I'd be like, hey, coach, let's not do that. They're cheering for a reason. Because they know.
Well, but that's not a good analogy, because now in modern high school athletics, everybody wins.
Well,
Everybody needs a chance to get out on the field.
Well, everybody gets a chance. If you're beating the other team so bad, believe me, you get your chance.
Fair enough.
I've seen it.
But question to you, your thoughts
Yes.
on this. Does this put a damper on Bernie's kind of meteoric rise, where he soared above him and he decided to go and try to get whatever was soaring above him?
I don't think so. I think now
He walked that endless highway.
Yes, he did. Especially out in Nevada.
This land was made for you and me.
But I really don't think it does, because he keeps preaching about the free everything.
Well, don't say preaching. That's kind of too Jesus-y.
Okay, he's still excited about the free everything.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not free. We just want, like, back in the 70s, they didn't have to pay as much as we pay now for college. Huh? What do you got to say to that, mister? Huh?
Inflation.
Well, but why can't I pay that much? Huh? What do you got? Oh, you got nothing. You got nothing.
No. If you wanted to pay the same
You just
amount,
want to give kickbacks to your big corporate donors, huh?
Yes,
huh, buddy?
I do.
Huh? That's what you want there, champ?
If they wanted to pay as much as they did back in the 70s, that's fine. Let's make everything like it was back in the 70s then. The pay at work, the groceries, the fuel, everything. You're not going to find it because of inflation, because the cost of living has gone up.
Oh, you're just afraid of the term democratic socialist.
No, I'm not. I mean, right now we have a democratic socialist, and I'm not saying Barack Obama. I'm saying we get to still vote.
Oh, you think Obama's a socialist?
We still get to vote for the people that are going to give it to us. And make sure that Medicare doesn't run out. And I was trying to put that in a very the way that when
so I don't get a bunch of emails about it?
Yeah. But we still vote people in that want to up Medicaid, up Medicare, up welfare, up Social Security, and none of them have any money anywhere. But, that's whatever. As soon as the banks, the Wall Street, and the rich people are done with their money from Bernie Sanders, who is he going to come after next? He's going to come after us. So
whenever somebody talks to me about how articulate Trump is, and how he just doesn't care, and he just says what's on his mind, I always ask them to go read read the transcript of what he says. This is one. Donald Trump says he won't release tax returns yet. This is from CNS News. He will release them at the appropriate time. But here's a little excerpt from, this is a quote from him. Well, we're having them made. They're extremely complicated. It's going to take a little while. I don't know if you ever saw the picture I gave, but I gave you a picture with about 2.5 feet of tax returns standing in front of me as I was signing. They're having them done and will do at the appropriate time. He then goes on. There's a good one in here.
what was he talking about?
These are his tax returns.
Nobody has 2.5 feet stack of paper in front of them, and they're okay.
Where was the one I was reading earlier? Because it was just. Oh, here we go. By the way, I released my financial statements, which are much more important. I released my financial statements, and everybody was amazed at how big and how great the company is. Much bigger than they thought. And it's a great company. Very little debt, tremendous cash flow, some of the best assets in the world.
What? You know that feeling you get when you have brain freeze? Yeah, I have it right now. That man makes absolutely no sense when he talks.
Yeah, but when he released his financial statements, everybody was amazed. Everybody was amazed at how great his company was, how big it was. Nobody thought it was that big. Everybody was like, oh, it's tiny. But I'm like, oh, boom, financial statements. Look at that. You can't. It's huge. Nobody expected it. They were so surprised. That's what I'm going to bring to America.
A lot of paperwork? Not entirely sure what he's bringing to America.
I'm not sure either. I'm not even sure if he's sure.
Huge tax forms?
To be honest. Huge 2.5 feet of tax returns that he was signing.
Yeah, because the...
Well, you got to remember, nobody expected his company to be as big as it was. They were all amazed. I mean, they eyes were like, they were like amazed.
Amazed. Yeah, because
that's a direct. Donald, I'm amazed at how huge your company is.
He said very little debt. So like $4 to $6 billion is a little debt. Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't. We don't talk about that, folks. Thanks for listening to the Russinize Your Day show.
Did you almost forget what it was?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know.
You gotta learn how to do radio, buddy.
I'm sorry.
If you want to get in touch with us, Russinize at whirlwindmedia.com. WHRL windmedia.com. And Russinize, in case you don't know, is RUSSINIZE. You can get the show on YouTube. You can check us out doing this. What up, YouTubers? And you can also check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music. And please rate and review us on iTunes. It helps us. Share us with your friends. Help spread the word. We rely on you. But you can also tweet us at Russinized, RUSSINIZED. Check us out on Facebook, Google+, Tumblr, StumbleUpon. We're everywhere. And you can also check out Whirlwind Media on all social media places as well. We're
like cockroaches.
You can't kill us. No. We're around forever. Folks, thanks for tuning in. We'll have a new episode on Wednesday. Wednesday will be the next episode, so check in there. Most episodes we try to get up by 5. We're a little late on this one, obviously, but...
well, if somebody was on time, Russ.
Yeah, that would be you. You were late.
Russ.
You were late. I was
Russ.
here and ready to go.
Russ.
We have footage of it. We can
footage?
post that, so. Yeah, we
Whatever.
had to...
Just like your Bruntisms.
That's it's going. It's going.
Uh-huh.
You keep making more every day. Folks, I'm Russ.
And I'm Brent.
And we'll talk to you again on Wednesday.